When I saw Chacko at that time, and when we relate Chacko, even in those days, we relate him to being a very enthusiastic person. He's naturally enthusiastic, he's naturally dynamic, and he comes through in the similar manner when he comes on the screen as well. So I can't wait to hear from Chacko as we go along. And also I would like to, bring in the value of how Chacko is speaking about this topic today. He's the assistant manager working for one of the leading manufacturers in India, MRF, based out of Chennai. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Chacko Jacob. Chacko, a very good evening to you. And here's a mighty force of people, young and old. I categorize myself as the younger one, by the way. And there you go, mate. All the best, and over to you.
Thank you, Alan, for that fine introduction. And good evening to all of you here. Very good evening. Been of a pandemic, correct? And people are worried about COVID and all that. But you know something, in the last 3 months, we have onboarded almost 100 engineers. So I'm talking about this in sales and marketing, we take engineering plus MBA combination students, right? And we have taken more than 100 of them. There's another type of people that we have taken along. This is basically called operational assistants. And we have taken about 65 operational assistants in the last 6 months. These operational assistants are basically BCom, MCom, and most of their job is back-end support for sales. So I'm talking about my vertical alone. So this is the vertical in which I work in. I'm actually taking care of sales and marketing training. And so I know I'm giving you accurate statistics from that. I also do training for other verticals in MRF. For example, I conduct training for the manufacturing people. And in the same 3 months, okay, I have done so many batches of training that I'm sure we have taken almost close to 100, 200 people in that area also. That means in production. When I say production, these are basically supervisors who will take care of production in a factory. Okay. So when somebody tells me there are no opportunities, now this is something like I find very difficult to accept or understand, or I will not accept this statement, right? There is plenty of opportunity out there, right? It is just that most companies, right? The problem they have is not that there is no candidate. There are enough of people out there. The problem is he is not able to find the right candidate to match what kind of opportunity he has put out there in the market, right? So that's basically the problem. The problem is not unemployment. The problem is unemployability. Okay, that's basically the problem that we see, right? Now, we'll talk about this further as we go along with my other slides. I'd like to basically get started with the next slide. What I'm doing here is going to give you some inputs which can basically help you in a leadership perspective, right? And then we'll take things forward. Okay, so just hold on. This material is taken from John Maxwell's material. Now, who is John Maxwell? I think a lot of you will know because Alan is basically doing a leadership studio and he would have introduced you to John Maxwell. John Maxwell is considered to be the leadership guru of the world. Okay? Like if you look, Philip Kotler is considered to be the marketing guru of the world. Okay, so he has taken up this material. I've taken up these inputs from his material. So the first statement, the very first statement I'd like you to look at is in green color. It says, everyone has potential. Now see, when a company takes a candidate, more than taking a person who's brilliant, who's clever, who got 98%, yeah, that's important. But more important is, does he have the potential? What do you mean by potential? See, if you look at, different companies, the way they work. For us, our product is a tire. The product is a very difficult product to understand. So if a guy has to sell a tire, he cannot just like that simply take this and start selling, right? Now, if he's an FMCG, for example, he can take a toothpaste. Everyone needs a toothpaste, right? So he can start selling immediately. He may not have much of explanation to do for that. He can simply say that my brand is better than that brand. That's all. Other than that, right, the product will basically sell itself. But the tire is a very technical product. And for a person to understand this product, it takes time. Correct? Yeah, unless a guy is inside our system for 1 or 2 years, he cannot really start selling a tire very well. Okay? So what happens is, we look like this person, will he stay with us for at least, 3 years? Okay? Because 1 year it will take to just understand the product. So will he stay with us for, more than 2 years? Only then the company will get the benefit of keeping this guy with us. So what I'm trying to tell you is that more than a brilliant individual, fantastic guy, we are looking at a guy who has a potential to be inside our system. And leadership potential, what I need to talk about, every single person who's sitting here in this room, you have to understand, you have got great potential, right? So this is the first thing, and what you will understand from this statement is also this: everyone has potential. It is an absolute statement. What do you mean by absolute statement? Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. The normal temperature of a human being is 98.6 degrees, right? The moment you go to 100 degrees, the doctor will say you have fever, correct? And the moment you are at 98.6, the doctor will say you don't have any fever, man, you're fine, correct? In fact, what we don't want to hear today is you have fever. We don't want to hear that because that can mean many other things. Okay, so the first statement, everyone has potential. Moving to the second statement, it says everyone can see possibilities. Again, look at the word can see. The first statement was has potential. So when we say has, it means it's an absolute statement. But when you say can see possibilities, that means what? It's not compulsory for you to see the possibilities. I want to just say something very simply. Life is full of possibilities. If you take the right possibilities, you'll go forward in life. If you take the wrong possibilities, you will go backward in life. So your basic life is what? Taking the right possibilities, right? And for you to take the right possibilities in life, the third statement is very important. And then if you can just press the space bar, we'll move on to the next one. Everyone needs purpose. What is this, right? If you look at the word needs, right? Needs means in Hindi, we call it as zarurat. That means what? You cannot be without this. Simple example. All of us here need oxygen to breathe. The moment the oxygen capacity in your room goes below 60%, depends on your health. A very healthy guy can still be breathing. But if you're like me, 48 years old, diabetic, who knows? If the oxygen level dips to 60% in the room, I might just get knocked out. Correct? So oxygen is a necessity. right? And here what I'm saying is everyone needs purpose. If you're clear about your purpose, you will take those possibilities which will help you maximize your potential. But if you are not clear of your purpose, you will jump into possibilities that will take you away from your potential. See, one of the basic things which take a person away from his purpose is very simple. Just money, right? Somebody will be loving his job a lot, but he leaves the job because somebody else is giving him 2000 rupees extra, right? When he gets there, he has got 2000 rupees. But then the job is such a job that is actually taking him away from what potential he has. For example, you take me, I'm a very good speaker. Now, getting a salary of 2 lakh, but being in a job that ties me to the desk, that would not, it will not be good for me. I'm not seeing the possibilities which, according to the potential which I have. The potential I have is to be a great orator, to be a great speaker. And here I'm now actually getting into a possibility which ties me to a desk and takes me away from my basic purpose. Now, how do you understand your purpose? Okay, I speak just 1 minute on this and move forward. Very simple. Many of us, we do a SWOT analysis of our competition. We do SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. So if I ask some of you here, do you know what is your strength? Do you know what is your weakness? Let me tell you this. Many people, weakness is something that not only you, the people around you will tell you what is your weakness. Strength, you have to be really, asking people if you need to find out what your strength is. Now, Alan sir told you about how I was in Dharwad, for a lot of time. At that time, when we were together, there used to be some aunties and uncles, and one auntie is, of course, Alan's mother itself. And they would come and tell me, you speak very well, correct? Now, that is an outside person or a person that you consider close to you telling you what is your strength. Now, many of us never think about it. What is our strength? What is our weakness? If you can capitalize on your strength, what is the opportunity? If you keep getting swallowed up in your weakness, what is the threat? I'll tell you simple thing in English. Okay, simple thing which you can help it. The simple thing, English itself is a very big problem for many people in India. If you want to grow inside a corporate company or inside business, you must not forget this one basic thing. English is the medium of business in India. If you want to grow consistently as a professional inside a corporate company, and if you want to become a very big businessman, you want to be a local guy, it's okay. You speak local language and you manage. But if you want to go beyond your hometown and do business around the world, correct? You want to do business around the world, you need to speak decent English. So if that is your weakness, you need to work on that. So 3 things I told you. Everyone has potential. Every single person inside this room listening to me right now, all of us have potential. And next, everyone can see possibilities. Possibility comes to everyone. And last but not the least, purpose, right? If you really want to progress in life, you need to be clear about your purpose. What is your skill? What is your gifting? You need to find that out. And one good way to find that out, I said, is by doing a SWOT analysis of yourself. So now, let's move on. Okay, and let's try to understand what is the need of the hour with regards to the job market. What is the need? Okay, what according to us is the real need in the job market, right? Now, I gave a small tip on this when we started, right? When we spoke about the introduction, I gave you a small thing, right? The main need of the hour right now is to find the right person for the right job. So when I talk about a businessman, this is his real need. He wants to find the right person for the right job, right? Now, this is basically a very big challenge, not as easy as I am talking or as I am telling you. I'll give you one example and move on to the next slide. Let's give a simple example. Now, in MRL, we have come up with a certain strategy, right? What is that strategy? Let me tell you. We will go to a college for campus recruitment and we will tell, okay, we want your candidates to attend our interview process. Now, the placement coordinator will take a book, right? In that book, he will have all the details about the college. He will say this book has been prepared by the final year students, right? And when you open the book, you will find the description. You will find what project they did, what's the name, which place they are from, what's their background. Usually that book will have the information of the top 100 students in the college. You know what we do? Now this may surprise you, but this is what we do. The moment the placement coordinator comes with that book, we will tell him, it's okay, Baba. I don't want rank 1 to rank 100. Do you have another book or do you have something else in which I can see the students between rank 101 to 200? And he tells me, you don't want top 100? We say, no, we don't want top 100. I want from 100 to 200. Why? Because see, we have done a study and we have found out that the top 100 people are high in demand. Not only MRF, everybody wants that candidate. So what he does is, he will join MRF after 2 to 3, maybe maximum of 1 year. Sometimes it is just months. Maybe after 1 year, he will use this as a stepping stone and jump into another company. But in between 100 to 200, these guys are also smart. They all passed the exam in the first attempt. Only thing is, he didn't get 98% mark. Right? We take them, we find that they are more steady. I told you, in our business, the more steady you are, the more time you spend. Right? The more value the company gets. So we choose that. Right? We choose that. We don't want to take from 1 to 100, we take from 100 to 200. So like this, every company has got their study, right? And they want the candidate that matches according to their culture. Okay, not necessarily number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay? Now say in MRF, we have got a department called R&D. Okay, it is called Corporate Technical in MRF. There, we need number 1. We need the top ranking guy from IIT. We need top ranking guy from BITS Pilani. Why? Because that is research and development. We need a sharp, clever, intelligent who knows about all the chemical compounds, all that. Correct? So we pick accordingly. So now, once again, I reiterate, the need of the hour is to find the right candidate who will fit into my culture, who fit into my requirement. Right? Now, to go on, let's go to the next slide. And here we'll tell you, okay, basically, no candidate is good or bad. Okay, so some people here, if you have basically been trying for a job and you get rejected, then you think, oh, I'm a bad guy. That's why I didn't get this job. I am bad. No, Baba, don't never think like that. Okay, after today, maybe you would remember my words and get encouraged. Nobody is good or bad. Correct? It is just that, do I need this type of person right now? Or what is the kind of person I need right now? Again, I'll give you one example. Go on. Now, when we take people for sales, right? All the people who are managers in my company have spent 16 years, 20 years, 25 years inside our company. Okay? Now, we know them very well. That means what? All the HR knows these guys very well. We know these guys very well. Correct? Now, the thing is, when I pick a guy, example, I know that the person in Bhubaneswar, okay, in Orissa state, Bhubaneswar, he is a very aggressive person. So, If I take a guy who's very aggressive, what will happen? Both these guys will keep fighting. Okay. And no work will take place. They'll keep fighting. So instead of that, what should I do? I should take a guy who's little calm, who can complement this aggressive guy. Right? Or other example, let me give. The guy, let us say in Delhi, he's a very good guy, okay, very good in sales, but he is more of a action guy, right? He is little poor in making presentation. He's not able to present things. So what we need to do, we should understand this guy is good in sales, but to present the sales, he needs a boy who can help him with presentations and all that, right? So I am picking a guy to match my manager. Okay, so it's not necessary that that fellow should be first rank, second rank, third rank. He should match my manager. So this is one input I want to give every one of you who's here. Never ever think, oh, I was bad. I was not good enough. That's why I didn't get it. You may be fantastic here, but you didn't get a job because at that moment it didn't match. Keep trying, keep work hard. You will definitely get the right opportunity at the right time. Okay. Now the next issue. The issue is this. In India, the supply is far greater than the demand. The supply is far greater than the demand. Again, I'll bring to your mind one thing which is a fact. All of you know it. This is a fact. And that is this. Many years back, see, when I was studying, for example, in the entire state of Tamil Nadu, we would have had 3 guys getting centum in mathematics. Today, what is the state? Every school has got 5 guys who have got centum in mathematics. Right? So, nobody can say that there are no smart guys. There are too many smart guys. The world, India is full of smart guys. Right? Before, I was saying, if I were to complete engineering, maybe there would be nobody in my locality for about 100 kilometers radius who's an engineer. But today it's not like that, no? Today, every village, I think there'll be a lot of people who are engineers. Correct? So the supply is far beyond the demand that we have. And choosing from this kind of a supply is very difficult. So now let's go on. So how do you bridge the gap between the supply and the demand? Okay. Now I had something called a case study which I would have done if there's time, but I think since the time doesn't permit, I'll just move on fast since I also want to give you a small time for questions and things like that. Okay. So Alan, right, let's move on. Right. I'll also just touch on that. Right. What I was trying to say. Let's say, for example, Alan, can you move? Yeah, correct. So how do you bridge the gap? Right. First, by doing something different. Second, by providing value. Now, when you attend an interview, what is that something different which you bring to the table? That has to be clear. What value can you provide to the company? You should be very clear. So that means what? When you go for an interview, you should go prepared. Many guys, when they come for an interview, you ask them the question, what is this company's primary business? He doesn't seem to know. Yet when you attend an interview, at least what does the company do? What is their business? What was last year's turnover? Which is his number one product? Even this, if you don't know, then how are you going to get a job in marketing? Correct? So by doing something different, by providing some value. So let me give you a tough example from MRF itself. We have got a lot of experienced sales guys who are inside our system for 25 years. But we have looked at outside companies to bring experienced people in, right, at a top level. Why can't I promote somebody from inside? That's not the question. The question is, when I bring somebody from outside, he brings something different to the table, right? And he provides value by giving you some idea which the inside guy cannot give. Why? Because the inside guy is stuck here for the last 25 years. Right? Yes, he's very good, but he is not able to bring something different, some different way of thinking. Right? And also, he provides value by bringing something to the table which the others are not able to bring. So, now the thing what I'm trying to tell you in this slide is very simple. If after this day, you are going for any interview for with any company, forget about the size. It can even be a small company or it can be a very big company. Go prepared. Understand that this is the business he is doing. And when you meet the people, tell them or try to show them in the interview itself that I can do something different for you, which will bring you better business. I can provide more value to you by contributing more effectively in these areas. 1, 2, 3. If you are able to tell this, then you can bridge the gap. Even though there are a lot of engineers, the company will feel this guy is something special. This guy is something special. So now in the market, what kind of jobs are there? Can we look at that? And then the next slide. There are basically two kinds of jobs. One is transactional and the other is transformational. Now, many people will say transformational is better because it is leadership or man and transaction. That was very simple. Both jobs are important. Okay, it's very important. For example, a leader cannot take any decision if he does not have proper data. And who enters the data? Some clerk sits there and enters all the data for you. Transactional jobs are what you every day do, right? End of the day, how much of sale did you get? Somebody enters into some Excel sheet or into some software and keeps it there. What is transformation? Transformation is basically, learning and development, leadership, all this which leads to change in the company is what we call transformation. Is one better than the other? According to me, no. Both jobs are very important. But there is a fact that transformational jobs are paid more than transactional jobs. This is a fact. So, if you have leadership ability, if you are able to lead people, it is actually an in-demand skill today in the market. The problem in India is we have got a lot of people who are followers. Tell him what to do, to sit in one place and do this. He's very happy. End of the month, give him salary, he is even more happy. But tell him to take a risk. First we'll try this. If it works, I get the reward. If it doesn't work, then I get screwed. Correct? But there are not enough people willing to take risk out in the market. So here you have a thought here, right? Now you're in part of leadership studio and that's why you're attending this program. It's very clear. You are attending this program and you are part of leadership studios itself a positive step. The market looks for people who can take leadership. Okay, who can take leadership. And okay, let's move on to the next slide. Now I'm going to talk about how basically the job seeking works. In the olden days, how people used to do it is go and upload your CV on Naukri, right? And then you pray for somebody to see it and give you a job. That doesn't work nowadays, folks. That doesn't work. Nowadays, very important thing is how you are on social media. When a person especially fills a position, which is a mid-manager position and above, he looks at that person on LinkedIn, on Facebook. What is he posting? What is he writing? Is he knowledgeable in this field? All that, the person does this research, right? And then that candidate is selected. So don't ever think that you can do whatever you want on social media and nobody notices. Everyone notices. When I take a senior level manager's profile, I try to see what is he contributing. Does he write articles about his field, about his work? Or is he posting rubbish which is unconnected, unrelated? Right? So social media is very important now in your job seeking. Next, job hunting versus job searching. Before people used to search for jobs. Today it's not like that. You have to hunt. Hunt means what? You decide These are the 10 companies that I am interested to join. Have you made a list like that? I can see some of your faces on the camera. You look very perplexed. Do you have a list of companies that you would love to work in? If you don't have that list, I'm suggesting you make that list. It can be in Goa, it can be in Dharwad, it can be Pune, it can be Mumbai, it can be anywhere. What kind of company do you like to work in? What kind of job do you want? Right? Are you making a list and are you working towards it? Now, Alan spoke about we were together in Dharwad, right? After that, I went for a very difficult time as far as education and all is concerned. I'm not as smart as many of you guys here. I failed in the 12th standard in chemistry, right? I then came for engineering to Dharwad. I dropped out. It was a big battle for me to complete BBA, MBA, and now a double MBA. Correct? Today, a job searches for me. I don't search for a job. But then the point is that, right? I had a list of companies that I wanted to work with. And among the 10 companies that I shortlisted, I got a job in one of the companies. It's MRF, and I'm working for MRF now. Right? The third thing on this list is referral. Right? You need to build your contacts in the industry that you want to work for. For example, I can see Manasvi is here on the screen, very young person and looking and smiling. The thing is, Manasvi, if you want to, for example, you're interested in fashion design, all your friends on LinkedIn by this time should be executives or owners of fashion companies, because that is the field that you want to go into. Right? Today itself, if you're going to start talking to them, asking doubts, okay, how does this work? How do you do this? When the time comes for you to get a job, this person can give you a referral. I've got a friend who runs this company and he can give you a job. And it will be easy transition for you. But many people, you know what they do? They have 5,000 friends on Facebook, useless, who cannot give any reference, any suggestion, any development opportunities, nothing. Right? If you look at me on both Facebook, LinkedIn, you will find a lot of people connected to my field, learning and development. They are actually my students, or they are people who work in the same industry as me. And it keeps the connection going. Right? So this is what I'd like to say. Like, you need to be careful about your social media presence. Okay? Search and look for what kind of job you want, what company for, make a list. And from now, form a dream. Okay, how to get into that. And next is referral, right? Work on referrals. Moving on first. Now, I'll give you my personal experience is this. I told you I dropped out of college, came back to Chennai, and I started my first job because I didn't have any other way out, right? I joined into one mobile phone sales company because I had to study and work simultaneously. But I was good in sales, and the moment I got into management studies, I was excellent in that also, right? And now I want to tell you why studying well is so important. Okay, Pratik, Manasvi, all youngsters who I can see on the screen, listen. The moment I completed my MBA, okay, when I finished MBA, I finished as the 5th rank of the university. Till that time, I couldn't study well. I failed in my 12th, I failed in chemistry, I couldn't do engineering. But once I got into the management studies, I excelled. I came 5th rank in my foreign university. It was University of Missouri, USA. If you finish in the 5th rank, Manasvi, Pratik, when you grow up, the job will come searching for you. You will not have to search for a job. So this is why education is very important. It is a gate pass. But it is a very big, important gate pass. I'm not saying you are not studying very well, you're not so excellent in studies, you can't be excellent in job. I was not excellent in studies. I was only excellent in management studies once I started doing that. So remember this, study well, youngsters. Your future will be bright. Next, good and bad happens. In life, you will have up and down and up, irrespective of what happens in your life. So never curse your parents, never curse yourself, never curse your situation and say, shit, only bad things are happening to me. No, that's wrong. Good and bad happens to everyone. Okay, be tough in life. You will get through to the next level. Whatever happens, you will get through. The good things will come. See, in between, before joining MRF, I was a consultant for about 6 to 7 years. You know why I did that? Why I was a consultant? Because I actually was in a bad health situation. Chasing money, I became very sick. Truly. Okay. Thankfully, I realized that 6 years I was a consultant. I served many companies. And today I work with MRF. I'm very happy my life is balanced. Okay. So I picked a job that is good for me. Right? Not necessarily which gives the maximum amount of money. Right? Choose a job that is good for me. So I'd like to conclude this by saying two things. And then you can move to the last slide and stop there. The next thing is that basically two things I want to tell you. First thing, be natural. What do you mean by being natural? Because I want to see you how you are. Okay, many people are very artificial in what they do, the way they behave, the way they go about things. Don't be artificial. Be very natural. If you don't know something, excuse me, sir. I don't know it, sir. Can you please tell me how to do it? That's all. Right? The first point is be natural. And if you are natural and you're able to show people naturally how you are, what you're good at, what you can do, what you cannot do, that's enough. You will always get the right things in life that are meant for you. Okay? So be natural. And the next thing I want to tell you is very important, youngsters. Be prepared. Be prepared. Never go to any interview or any place saying, "Hey, why did you come here?" "I don't know yet. I just came like that. 5 people came and said, what do you mean? What did you come here for?" Right? Have clarity in that. Right? And that's what I mean by being prepared. Be clear about it. Any company that you join, the guy will ask you a simple question. Do you know what business I do? And for that, if you're blinking, he will feel very bad. What kind of a guy is this here? He got 90% marks, but he doesn't even know what business I'm doing. What will I get if I recruit this guy? Correct? At least you should know what is that company, what do they make, what is their business. Okay, anything in life, keep these two things in mind. If you want to go places, be natural, point number 1. Point number 2, be prepared in everything, and you will definitely get success in your life.